Alright guys, I'm David with Merry Outdoor. Today we're going to take a look at these two bows. So this is going to be kind of like a comparison video and a review of which one is better. And the reason why I chose these two bows is they're around the same year that they came out. Right now on eBay, they're around the same price. This one is actually a little bit cheaper, the Prime is. And, you know, a lot of your top tier bows now that were top tier, let's say 2 or 3 years ago, are now in the affordable range for people like me and a lot of other people. So where this bow was probably $1,200 brand new, like 3 or 4 years ago, I'm not really sure whenever this bow came out. I know I give $600 for it. It is the PSE Evo XF 33. I give $600 for it brand new on eBay. This bow here, I've actually had quite a few of these. These brand new were around $1,300. I have seen these on eBay brand new as low as like $450 to $500. So, you know, they only made this. So this was the first year of the two cam Prime bows, and it's got a limb stop and all that stuff. So it's different than the Rev X. But I prefer this bow over the Rev X. Now, I have not shot the RVX yet, but I really love this bow. It's a little tricky to get tuned. You have to really, do it, which I have videos of how you tune one of these bows. When you do it, they shoot excellent. They shoot really good. You just have to do a little bit of funky stuff to get them to tune right. Now, this one here, standard PSE tuning, right through the burger hole, put your levels on it, it's done. This thing is a great bow. This one here with a 450 grain arrow, shoots right at 300 feet per second, 30 inches of draw, 70 pounds. That one there is also 70 pounds, shooting the exact same arrow. Both of them tuned perfect, but I do not have an exact speed on that one. I would say it's close, but I'm not sure. I just haven't shot it through a chrono yet. Finish on the PSE, it's got like a textured finish on it. It's really nice. I like it, but I do notice the PSE is definitely significantly heavier than the Prime, and the Prime really, I know I do have longer stabilizers on this, but these are some ones I'm testing right now, so never mind those. But this bow here seems to be a lot lighter, but both of them definitely have their their pros and cons. So what we'll do is we'll take a couple shots with each one of them, see which one I think's the best. And the reason I chose these two really is, like I said, you can get both of these bows really, really affordable. So if you want to get into a newer top tier bow, if you're upgrading, you can get one of these really affordable, and a Prime inline 5. They're great bows, and they'll still cover them under warranty as long as they're new whenever you order them on eBay. So yeah, let's drop back and take a couple shots. All right, so on the PSE, we're running a spot hog sight. I know that we're at 37 yards here at the house. Now I'll go ahead and tell you guys, this bow is really aggressive. This right here has the S2 cam. Now PSE has several different cam options that you can get for what suits you. So this is right here, it maxes at 30 inches of draw, but it's their fastest cam. So naturally it's going to be more brutal than what that is, but that one does have a larger spectrum of draw length. So I don't know the exact numbers and everything for that one offhand anymore. I used to know. So PSE, this one has like a really super fat grip. Right through the pig. So I'm shooting at actually like a pig target down there, and this bow, it carries so much energy that it almost shoots the arrow straight through the target. So I don't normally shoot it but once or twice with this bow because it is shooting so fast. The cam on this thing, if I could draw it out, the draw cycle is like this. It ramps, and then it takes a real steep incline, and it dumps. And it took me a while to build my muscles up, and I've shot for years, and this one was one of the most aggressive cams that I've ever drawn back. And once you get it over that lump, boom, it's there. So if you do get one of these, be ready. You know, I mean, especially with an S2 cam, this thing's pretty aggressive. Let's go ahead and shoot one more. It's not gonna hurt nothing. Now, personally, I like PSE. I like Prime. You know, I like them all. Gotta take my glasses off. But what I'm looking for is a bow that I know that I can trust, that is, you know, reliable, tunes good. Both of these bows tune great. It's really about personal preference. You can see I struggle just a little bit coming to that back wall, but once I'm here, it's easy. It's a pretty quiet bow. The S2 cams. This thing is, I mean, it's an aggressive bow. It really is. This is what I'm going to take to tack. It's compact. It's fast. You know, it is a little mean, but it's a great bow. You can get them all day. All day. Get on eBay right now. Evo XF. Get on the archery pages. They're full of these things. I don't know why people are selling them, but you can get them cheap. Unfortunately, this does not have the upgraded shim set. I wish it did. Whenever I was originally setting this up, I did have to move the shims over to get it to tune right. So that is, for me, personally, if I get a bow, when I set it up, now I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, but if I set my center shot up correctly, I feel like I should not ever have to touch the shim set. This one I did. Personally, I do not like that. If I have to mess with the shims, for me that tells me that they didn't do something right building the boat. And I'm not, you know, that's just my opinion. Do not take that, you know, take that for what it is. You know, that's just my opinion. Most of the PSEs I've ever had, I've had to adjust shims. That's just a part of it. That's why they put shims there. That's why they're there. That's what they're there for. So, you know, we'll leave it at that. All right, so now we're going to go to the Prime. Now, I'm not going to, since this one has longer stabilizer bars on it, you know, I probably really should just take these off to make it a fair comparison. But for what we're comparing right now, the stabilizer bars, we're not doing an accuracy comparison because I already know which one is the most accurate of both of them. We'll do that in another video. We're talking about shootability and price point, essentially. So these bows are really cheap. The only thing is if you buy one of these, they come with a knocking point that's put on the bow. It's a little brass crimp. You got to put your arrow where that crimp was. If you don't, it will not tune. And which I've got videos on this as well. The tuning on these things are weird. Only reason why I know how to set these up is I've had a lot of them and I like them. So even with the longer stabilizer bars, this bow is significantly lighter. Every time I've been to tack, I've taken one of these bows, except for last year. But my brother took this one, and see, it's been to tack twice. First time I went to tack, I took an inline 5 hammer penny finish. Ryan took this twice, once to Colorado and once to Tennessee. This setup here I got from my brother. I'll be honest with you guys, this one had a broke limb, and We had a set of 70s. Go ahead and be honest with you, this is like the third prime that I've had that's broke a limb. But they're always really good about getting them replaced super fast. So my buddy at the Archery Shack, he's a prime dealer, say, hey man, we got a set of, you know, had a limb crack, get some. So my brother actually had these 60 pounders, sorry, these 70 pounders, and his hunting bow, what we did was we just switched the limbs out, because he bought some 80s, and then I put these 70s on it. And with these primes, if you look at the serial number right here at the end of it, like this, and says 70.92, that's your actual draw weight. So assuming your bow is in spec and everything, you've got you know, you got a 70.2, and you know, it's just little stuff like that about prime that I like. Their grips, I love them. They're narrow. For me, they kind of these bows want a more of a high-wristed grip that I've come to find, which you guys will see whenever I shoot it. They're really good. Other than, like I said, you know, I have had issues with limbs, just, which, you know, out of probably 7 of these bows that I've had 2 that had limb issues. So whenever this one had the limb issue, I'm not sure if it was because maybe my brother left it in a hot car or nothing. I can't rule out any variables. I don't know. I know he hunted with it and stuff like that. So, you know, long story short, we had limbs. Not trying to rant about that, because if you look on the archery pages, even the new Matthews, like the Phase 4, or not Phase 4, what are they called? The 8-limb system or whatever it is, you know, we're seeing cracks with those. I mean, that is a moving part. That is fiberglass. You're going to have failures. I don't care who you are. Thus far, out of all the bows I've ever had, though, I've never had a limb failure with a PSE. Now, that's not going to say that this one doesn't blow up here in just a minute. I don't know. But I have a lot of trust in the prime bows, even though I'm not really shooting them anymore. I don't know, I'm comfortable with them. So we're going to take some shots with this. So first off, though, I know this is like a really long rant. If you look at the cam setup on this, that one has a lot smaller cam with a more aggressive profile, the PSE does. Now, this one here is like a really large wheel. And if you look too, which I've been wanting to bring up in a video for a while, this is something that I think people need to start looking at. If you look at the limbs, which limb does it look like is under more tension? Well, look at it. So in a relaxed state like this, the PSE is definitely under more tension. The prime is not. The prime, I think it's got like a 2-inch deflection. I'm not sure what this is, but I think that has something to do too with the longevity and the string, the way that strings last on bows. I've noticed like a set of prime strings like these, they last forever. Normally, if I have a prime bow, I never change the factory strings because they're not under as much like what I call like static load as what these are. So like this bow is cranked down. You know, I mean, like you can tell it's under some tension. Now this bow here, I don't feel like it is. Maybe you guys can enlighten me on that. And the, you know, this is just stuff that I've looked at over the last couple of years. That's why I like prime, is stuff like, you know, I guess stuff like that. You know, I look at like at a rested point like this, you know, what kind of pressure is the bow under while it's not being shot and it's sitting in your closet. Let's see if it sits in your closet. Which bow is more likely to have the string stretch if you don't have like a super good set of strings? Well, probably this one. After about, which is normal, after about 200 shots, this bow from the factory, the strings grew about 3/4 of an inch. I had to twist them back up to get it back in spec, which is a lot. This one here, I think it didn't grow but about 1/4 of an inch. Put it back in spec. So both bows are 100% spec. I know this is a long video. I'm just trying to cram what knowledge that I have gained over the past couple of years about shooting these particular types of bows. And like I said, this is just my opinion on them. So let's shoot the prime now. Again, I hope I didn't offend anybody or lead anyone astray. This is just how I feel about it. So, all right, so here goes the prime. Now, you guys know I used to shoot these things hot and heavy. Loved them. Just couldn't get enough of them. But I like PSE. I started with PSE. I don't know. It's really weird. But let's talk about draw cycle. So both bows are 70 pounds. This one, so I drew it slow so you guys could see. So compared to that one, this one feels like I'm drawing a 60-pound bow. I don't know if it's because of the larger wheels, but it's smoother. Whew. A little bit off of our shot. I should have moved my sight. Thankfully, we didn't hit the pig, or we didn't hit the building. So, like I said, this bow here, I would say is shooting close to the same speed as this one. It's cheaper. It has less of a string setup, which we'll look at that. We'll look at the string and the cam setup too here in a minute. It's just simpler, but it does have its drawbacks. Beautiful. Whew. Man, I love shooting this bow. So this is a bow that I can take and shoot every day, all day, and not get fatigued. The bad part about it is they only made this one for 1 year. That's it. 1 year they made this this particular setup. That's it. I'm going to take one more shot with the prime, then another with the PSE. Give you guys my final thoughts on it. I do got to fix all my rotation and everything. I just feel like wherever I point this bow, it's going to hit confidently. The only thing about the prime is you really got to have you can't vary from your form. Once you set your form and how you're shooting, you got to stick with the form. You can't vary none with it, because if you do, you're going to shoot off. And you can see it too when you shoot through paper. It's really, really sensitive to that. I've noticed that the PSE is a lot more forgiving. You know, you can try to torque this bow. It's really hard to torque this bow. It's really hard to torque my citation. Like I said about the strings and all that, this is a heck of a lot, the prime is a lot less complex string arrangement. It's a lot easier to change strings out on the prime than it is this, but this one tunes easier. I mean, it's a lot easier. I'll just go ahead and say that. This is fast as heck. So, between both bows, both $600 bow range right now. You know what I'm gonna say? Neither one of these are gonna beat the other. They're both great. and they're both around the same year time. So yeah, guys, if you're looking at a Prime or a PSE, you're scrolling on eBay and you're wondering, which one should I get? Really, you're just going to look at it this way. Whichever one you pick, it's going to be a good bow. Just really depends on you. And they're both great. They're both great. They're both right now really affordable. They're top of the line bows, and yeah, I really like them. I love both of them. So these are my tack bows. I might take this one day and this one the other. I might take this one and actually shoot the prime course with. I don't know yet. We'll figure it out. But you guys have a good one. We'll see you on the next one.